Alright, just do a clap whenever.
Okay. And now for something completely different.
Oh, hello.
Today me and Mike are eating because we're hungry.
It's a very informal podcast this week. We have to eat. We're grown boys and we have to eat.
So, I'm sorry if you can hear a whole bunch of crunching and chewing. You've got wedges and garlic bread.
We'll try not to eat
And alcohol.
on mic. But if we do, we're sorry.
I'm not. Yes. Monty Python. I love them.
Great group. Great group.
Good super group. Yeah, super group. Yeah, super group.
That's the best super group ever.
Yeah.
And they never met until, the start of, their early TV stuff. I mean...
It's really weird just trying to look at you when you speak.
It's like... for the listeners, we're just at the end of each table. And it's sort of like... we've got lamps and glassware in front of us and we just
got the homeware stuff that you don't want to see at your own home on the table in between us.
And your head in between the glass.
Yeah, there's a glass like the fish bowl, so it's like one of those funny mirrors that has all those curved edges.
But it's weird how they got together because they were off doing stuff at uni. Two of them met at Oxford, two of them met at uni at Cambridge, and then they just came together because they just all knew each other,
Yeah. Alright, so let's start off with brass tacks here. Let's go with their names first so we know.
Who are the Pythons?
Who are the Pythons? Alright, the dead one, Graham Chapman.
That's how he's remembered. Not as Brian or King
the
Arthur.
In-closet homosexual. The in-closet homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
And the alcoholic man. I remember I was watching it. I think it was in... No, it would have been... It was special interviews or something, but there's a documentary which is worth a watch. It's called A Lie's Biography. And it's a movie that they've based off on Graham Chapman's book of the same title, and each scene is animated, but it's done by a different animator.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's worth a watch. And
does Terry Gilliam do any of the animations?
Oh, I'm guessing he would have done the scene.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Graham Chapman said in an interview about his alcohol. Choking on a wedge. Fuck. Yeah, in an interview about his alcoholism, he said he was drinking 4 pints of gin a day.
Jesus Christ.
That's a fucking lot. That's
a pint is, you don't mess around with a pint. That's a
pint. That's like a bottle and a half. Well, 750 mils in a bottle, and I'm guessing it's like Gordon's dry gin because
yeah.
Or Beefeater. I might have been Beefeater.
And then
so what? 750 in a mil, in a bottle of milk.
Yeah.
You get pints. You probably get 2. It's almost like a bottle and a half or 2 bottles worth of gin a day. So you can tell why John Cleese got a bit angry halfway through Flying Circus, can't they?
Yeah, and Cleese got angry at the start of Life of Brian because he wanted to play Brian.
Oh, did he?
Because he just thought he was never the front lead character. He was always those side characters who just did a few scenes and got a laugh and then fucked off. He was never the central character that moved on.
Okay.
So he wanted to be Brian, but everyone else thought that Graham was a better fit because he's done more experience with lead acting and all that. But then during Life of Brian, Graham just was drunk for most of it, and he couldn't remember lines for most of it. And Cleese was just he nearly separated the group, pretty much as well.
Okay.
Pretty
intense.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, back to the Pythons. Eric Idle. Terence Gilliam, who's the only American. Terry Jones. John Cleese. And Michael Palin.
Do you have a favourite? Or are they just all one person to you?
I feel like I've always liked Eric Idle. I don't know, something about him. I've always enjoyed him.
He's great. Like he just brings like a different character to the sketches and all that.
Especially when you watch like the old Flying Circus, how he's got that really long fucking frizzy hair that, like, down to his shoulder. You see him run, it's just the weirdest thing.
Palin's always been my favourite. Just I don't know why. Just I don't know. It's the characters he's done.
Wildlife documentary, like TV series, wasn't it? Like a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know. He's just always been my favourite with like the different characters, and he's just someone that I've just always gravitated towards.
Gravitated.
Not in a sexual way, don't worry. But yeah.
Yeah, really.
And they always have that. They all have like different aspects that they bring to the table. Like Idol's got the music side of things.
Yeah.
Gilliam's got the cartoon side of things.
Animation.
Jones has got that cross-dressing.
Jones is alright for ugly women, and plus he like directed most of the stuff too.
Yeah, he's got the directing side of things as well.
And
then
is the writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Graham's got the acting bits, and then Palin's just like
just there
writing and acting. Just there.
Just
next shot.
He's the young kid stuff. Can I come to?
He's a retarded one of the group, just trying to keep along.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's funny. It's funny how they met, because wasn't Cleese and Chapman in the same uni or?
Yeah. Both at Cambridge at the Footlights. Right. So here's a rundown of all the things that they did before Python. So, I'm sorry, I'll read that again. About radio broadcast
you read it again?
Yep. I'll read it again. I'm sorry, I'll read that again.
Okay.
From 64 from 73 was Cleese. Cast member and writer Eric Idle and Graham Chapman. I think they might have came later on. The Frost Report was Cleese, Idle, writers of Frost's monologues, and Chapman, Palin and Jones. At last, the 1948 show with Chapman and Cleese, and also Marty Feldman, the lovely googly-eyed man.
I only know him from Young Frankenstein. That's the only film that I know him from, off the top of my head. I can't think of anything else, unless you can think of anything else. But you know.
Don't make me think. I mean, Eric Idle was a writer. Twice a Fortnight in 67 was Palin and Jones. Do Not Adjust Your TV Set was 67 to 69. Eric Idle, I'm just going to say the last names. Idle, Jones, Palin, and Gilliam did animation. We have ways of making you laugh. Idle and Gilliam. How to Irritate People. Cleese, Chapman, and Palin. The Complete and Utter History of Britain. Palin and Jones.
All these titles, like it's just Python straight off the bat.
Doctor in the House was Cleese and Chapman. Now I just realised that halfway through I was like saying the years, and then I didn't say the years. So this is all before like fucking 1960, 1970. Before
1970, yeah. Because when did Flying Circus start? It was like just
70 to 73.
Yeah, 69, 73 or something. Yeah.
Was The Life of Brian was the first movie?
Yeah, that was it. That was their first. 75 was the 75 was Life of Brian. No, Holy Grail was their first one.
Yeah, sorry, fucked it.
Yeah.
So Holy Grail
was first, and
74.
And no, that was 75. Same year as Jaws.
Oh, so no way. Yeah.
So Flying Circus would have ended at like 74.
Yeah, because Flying Circus ended at 74, and then the next year they released the movie.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
And then Brian came out like 70, I want to say 78, 79.
I think it was 7.
Or it was
77? I should know this.
Yeah. We're not good with dates.
No, it was in the late 70s.
Yeah.
And it pissed the Christian church off until fucking now.
Even every religion film that comes out with an American or British influence or director or anything, they always get bombarded with criticism and bashings of the Christians and all that. It's just like, why bother? It's just an art form for subjectivity.
Because people go see it and they think it's going to change their mind and they're just going to rally against the church.
Well, that's the same with action films and gun violence and all that. It's just, it doesn't change.
It's not the same, Michael.
It just bugs me with that. Someone's opinion on something can be the same value as someone else's facts or someone else's art form. It's a. Oh, I hate it.
According to Jesus, you're wrong.
Oh, according to Jesus. Life of Brian isn't even about Jesus or the.
Yeah, it's about the man who was born
next door. Because surely there would be heaps of babies that were born on 25th.
I'm sure
I'm
sure the Romans did a lot of raping back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Imagine the kid growing up next to Jesus and he's taking the spotlight and he just has to.
Do you think Jesus would have been the popular kid?
He would have been the.
He would have started the sermon on the plate.
No, he would have been the.
They're just talking on top of the slide, going, "My beloved people," and kids are behind him, like, "Fucking go to the slide."
Someone just pushes him off. Or he would have just been the quiet one in class, just judging everyone, just going, is that your value? Oh, okay. Oh, I'll talk to my father about that.
No, he's the evil one. And at the end of school reunion, he's signing the yearbooks like, "You're going to hell. You're going to hell, Jesus Christ. You're going to hell, Jesus Christ. You're going to heaven, Jesus Christ."
When they sign the graduation books, things, his signature's just God.
God.
Son of God. But back to the Pythons. Enough about Jesus. Flying Circus had other names before they came up with Flying Circus.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they came up with Flying Circus. It's just like a thing that they thought of.
A name for a lot of things, but
they
just did.
The names before it was hour stretching time. I don't know what that means. It's just an hour stretching time. It's
because the show's going for half an hour too.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Well, it's just a joke. Means a joke.
Like a nocturnal animal trying to stretch time. It's really witty, their names. You have to think about what they mean.
That's the thing I love about some of them. Some of them are really retarded and just stupid, but some the whole no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's history behind it. They're making fun of the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Completely fucking brutal.
Yeah.
But
But they always.
They fucking the soccer as well, and have soccer.
The philosopher's soccer.
The philosopher's soccer. Especially on what's that quiz show we have
yeah.
And Fidel, I think it was Fidel or Che Guevara. No, it was Che.
No, it was Lenin as well. Lenin.
It was Che.
It was Lenin as well. They had 4 of them.
Yeah, but it was Che.
Yeah. Another name was the toad elevating moment. It was that big toad that they had, that animation thing. And then another one was a horse, a spoon, and a bucket. God knows what that means, but do you know that
Didn't it? Yeah, I was going to say that furniture sketch.
Yeah.
When they fucking, who is it, John Cleese Chapman, stands in the bucket or puts the bucket over his head and say a word. They're just got these names we'll just use them in scriptures.
But they always did that. They always challenged the audience to think whilst they were laughing. It's like that sketch.
When they got I'm going to stop you there, Mark.
No, just quitting.
Because when they got started, they were told by BBC to write 6 episodes. And these kids, they're just the youngest, no, it was 10 episodes. And they're young and they're just no one's ever gotten a deal like this before, and it's never really happened. No one just big shows like this just don't tell you, hey, you are good, give me 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, right.
And because like,
and they just like tried to be as silly as they can, because that was like the whole meaning behind everything they did, is just be as silly as you can.
yeah, well,
So
yeah,
they
that's
did
pretty
all
much
these
it.
sketches and all that, and then somehow people loved them and BBC liked them, and they're just like, well, fuck, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
We didn't think this will last. And bam, there you go.
And like even that toad, that not the toad, the frog, the confusing frog or something.
Oh, toad frog.
Yeah, whatever. Like confusing a toad or sketch with who was it? Jones and Idol. They were like looking out the window and they saw a toad or something, but nothing was there. And then they looked to the camera and they just looked confused. And then that sketch is like the audience is the frog who's confused. But it's so witty, you know. It's not like dumb American humor that we see.
They're part of the footlights in fucking Cambridge University, so like it's stupid comedy, but there's some wit.
Yeah.
If you're like Cambridge University professor is watching this, you better have at least some fucking joke, like smart historical jokes in there.
I feel like that's really rare now. Like no one does witty stuff. I feel like they were the last group to do witty sketches, because you have SNL now, but that's dumb.
It's witty.
It's dumbed down.
It's dumb witty.
Yeah.
Dim witty. King and Peele was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
And
true.
They should go. They just get so fat.
I stand corrected.
Because
Ken Peele's pretty
good. I know
good.
what you mean. Like early 2000s, 90s, it was sort of just like simple comedy.
Yeah.
Because like Animal House came out, it's just like fuck them, just stupid shit.
And then like American Pie started.
Because now people's social issues are getting so much more attention. People make a joke or something, but it's actually like sort of like that makes sense.
Yeah, because I feel like who was it? Andy Kaufman and Ricky Gervais are like the two comedians that just don't give a shit about people's criticisms or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're the American. Oh no, Ricky Gervais is British, but I feel like they're the post-Python people that were like Python that just didn't, they didn't care about offense, they didn't care about PC.
Who would you put as in Python? Who would you choose out of the Python? Like if you were making a new Python?
A new Python, like of this day and age, or just new people.
Sort of new people. Like you make up your own Python list of any comedians going around.
Okay.
Not using Python.
Okay, so Andy Kaufman for sure. Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Good.
Ricky Gervais for the writing. Boy, it's gonna be tough because I don't know many good comedians nowadays. Robin Williams for the humor, because he can make anyone laugh.
I can give you one more.
Who? I'm gonna feel stupid. I know.
George Carlin.
Yeah. I feel stupid. I feel stupid.
But
he was great.
And actually, I'd probably get rid of Ricky and put Jim Belushi because he died. So just it just fits. Get some of those really good dialogues to Jim Belushi.
That's true. He's like Graham Chapman. He's the one that's just died. Yeah, we don't see groups nowadays. It's more single people and it's all that, which sucks.
But yeah, some people still, like I said, sort of coming back because of the issues and shit.
Yeah, I just wish people were more open-minded and they just laughed about pain or suffering or non-PC stuff. Because you just get restricted, to your source material and all that.
You can eat your garlic bread because you haven't touched it.
I've just been focusing on notes and thinking.
Okay. But yes.
But then, what's your favourite sketch of Flying Circus? Or one of the favourites, since there's so many good ones. So I've got 5 or 7.
I've got 5 or 7.
Oh, 5 or 7. So
What's your favourite?
Not
I've
gonna
got
break here.
5 or 7.
Well, 5 or 7. It's like it turns into the Yorkshire sketch where we just brag about.
That was the first. Because that was the first time they did it was on the 1948 show.
Oh,
The Yorkshire sketch.
little fun fact.
And I think I haven't seen Flagging Circus for a long time, but I think the last time was because they did it in the Hollywood Bowl, but I don't know if it was in the Flying Circus.
It might have been in the Flying Circus. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it because I have the box set, but I can't remember if it is. Because I know they did it on stage a few times at Drury Lane and LA and all that, but I can't remember.
I don't think they did. I don't think it is in Flying Circus. But yeah, it started in the 1948 show with Feldman and Gleason Chapman. His name is Peter. Was it Peter? No.
Who? Oh, Tom.
Tim. Brooke Taylor.
I don't know him. I might know the face, but...
You know, where is it? Is the Goodies?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Goodies how to irritate people and
Oh.
showing all that. Pleasure at Her Majesty's. Oh, you dirty man. He was in the Hollywood Bowl, where was he?
Oh, he would have been one of the lumberjacks, probably.
Yeah.
He probably would have been that.
Lumberjack and... What else?
But the Hollywood Bowl is so good.
Yes.
It's like the best of the best sketches, apart from the parrot sketch and the cheese shop and all that.
I just love the albatross. I think that's like the Hollywood Bowl version of the dead parrot, just a dead albatross.
Oh, like, I used to watch that all the time as a kid on VHS and all that.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I just rewind and go back and I could watch it for days and it's funny. I'm glad I was brought up like that instead of American Pie or all these dumb American comedies.
It's good. It's healthy.
It's
healthy living, people.
What's your favourite film out of them? Like what do you...
I grew up on Life of Brian.
I
think I might say Life of Brian.
Yeah.
I know I can...
Because I like Holy Grail, but like the moment... Because I didn't get the ending as a kid with the police officers coming in and all that.
Oh, it's the best.
But then as I grew up, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense then.
But it makes sense. I don't know if it does. Yeah. It's like the equivalent of Life of Brian's spaceship scene. It just like completely changes fucking...
Oh.
It just falls off the building and like lands into a spaceship and he's like, what? How the fuck is this? It's like... This is like one of those quickest time capsules, like fucking 2001 to burn into the ship. This is like Jerusalem.
Another
28 AD.
Another person who I'd add to the Python group for the new one is Mel Brooks.
No, you can only do 5.
Who?
You can only do 5.
Oh, because there's only 5 now.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. I'll put Mel Brooks as like the... I'll put him as the writer.
Mel?
Imagine that collab.
Mel Brooks would be the Marty Feldman.
Oh, okay, so he would be like the outsider who would just write.
He could have been. He could have been the 7th. The 7th Python.
Yeah.
But did his own stuff.
Yeah.
Because he would have been perfect for Python for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He would have been funny. And then I didn't watch Meaning of Life until like 2006 or something.
I saw that on TV. I like it. Recorded off TV with a little tape back in the day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You have to press the red button on the TV box and
you have to just like wait
to time it, and you have the ads in the middle. Oh.
I know that's the funny thing, especially when you're watching something too, when you're taping it as well, and you just like stop recording with the ads. And then press play.
I never did that. I just left it going.
No, you fucking don't want the ads.
I'll just fast forward through the ads.
But, so good.
But yeah, Meaning of Life was like the first musical for them because like if you watch it, there's like 5 songs or something in it, and then you have like there's no straight storyline. It's just different parts of lives.
Sort of show.
Yeah, it's just following people through life.
Yeah.
But it has like it's like Flying Circus but on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones are like films.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Life of Brian would be my favourite.
It's great. If you haven't watched any of these, please do so. It's like the best comedy, sketches and gags and all that. It's just great. It's brilliant.
Let's just do it.
I wish there was a new group, instead of these stupid comedians like Amy Schumer or, all these American idiots. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, well they do because John Cleese left Flying Circus mid-third season or second season.
Yeah, he's like the start of the third, I think. Yeah. I can't remember exactly when, but he started doing Fawlty Towers. Was that when he started? Yeah. And then they all branched out.
Yeah, I think they left. John Cleese left mid-second season, and with the third season, they only had enough material for 6 episodes. That's why there's only 6 episodes in the third series.
Yeah. There's only like 3 or 4 seasons, isn't there? Because they all branched out.
Yeah, Holy Grail 75, Life of Brian 79.
Yeah.
Meaning of Life 83.
Yeah.
Haha.
And then they all just, because they all branched out, didn't they? They just did their own stuff for a while. Because
So Gilliam did a few films in the 80s that had like half of the Pythons in like.
Yeah, that's right.
Films.
And then
called the Jabberwocky, and you'd have like Michael Palin, Eric Idle, and John Cleese there. Where Terry Jones would be around and all that.
And didn't John Cleese do A Fish Called Wonder as well? Was that him?
Michael Palin, that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Oh, I thought it would be the 80s, but...
90s, yeah, that was later.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always like come back together every now and again too.
Did you ever watch like bits of the reunion 25 years later or whatever it was called? Like the live show? Pardon?
There was one in Canada.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
Yeah. There was one in England, I think, that I watched. And they just like did their own, like the Flying Circus sketches. Just like the best of the best.
I know. I remember watching the fucking final last like shows they were doing like London O2 Arena.
Yeah.
They got the DVD and like the DVD finished and it said like Monty Python 1969 to 2016. And I'm just like, I got a tear. I cried.
And then at the 2012 Olympics in London, Eric Idle did Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. And
when he was down with John Cleese, he played that song.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. And like
Eric the Half Hard B. Which is great because they were talking about a story when they were doing when John Cleese is the Red Riding Hood.
Oh god.
They were just in the woods and shit. And they were just bored one day, so waiting for like camera stuff, and they were just sitting and they just like came up with that song. While John Cleese is in his whole fucking like uniform, going
eating meat. It's really cool how they like if you watch the Eric Idle at the Olympics and the song starts, everyone just starts singing it. You hear the whole stadium just erupt.
Oh yeah, it's one of those songs where it's just.
It's just so.
It's like better than Don't Worry Be Happy. It's a very uplifting song.
Yeah. It's the same sort of song as well. Yeah.
It's just,
it is better.
It gets more to the point.
Yeah. And they'd always say that. They always say like, laugh at the face of death, and if
Piece of
it,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
It's just
And if you laugh at anything, then you're bulletproof, pretty much. You know.
yeah, pretty much.
That's why like Life of Brian. That's why they're not mocking religion because they accepts that people are like that. They just want to do their own thing and just laugh at like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Of the guy just because there's Jesus in it, and there's like an interview on, I can't remember who it was, but there was this debate on a talk show where Palin and Cleese got into a debate against a bishop and a religious person.
It's on YouTube if you want to find it.
Yeah, it's like 4 parts or something. It's like an hour.
Yeah.
But they said how they didn't really want to mock Jesus himself because Jesus is in the film where he's preaching on the hill and all that. But then you have like they're laughing at the people who are in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the
It's
idiots.
like the people that are far back behind the crowd.
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
"Those are the cheesemakers.
Yeah.
What's so special about the cheesemakers?" People that can't hear and just it's just typical religion people. Like they're all at the back, they're trying to use it. They get half of the message, but like the rest they make up, and they're just like, "What the fuck did you say?" I don't know. We'll just go with it. Okay.
Well, that's like
Yeah, the film got banned for sure.
yeah, it didn't get like any
Was-
awards or anything.
Oh, right. Here, drawing accusations of blasphemy and protests from some religious groups. 39 local authorities in the United Kingdom either impose an outright ban or impose an X certificate, effectively preventing the film from being shown, since the distributors said it could not be shown unless it was unedited and carried the original AA certificate. Some countries, including Ireland and Norway, banned its showing. Few of these bans lasting decades.
It's
So
so,
that's really weird for like Norway to fucking ban something.
it's so it's,
They get nothing. They just get fucking snow. It's just like miserable up there, and they're just banning something. So fuck it. We have to do something.
it's just so weird how.
Yeah, because they even use a tagline. So funny. It's banned in Norway.
Oh.
Because like, what comes out of Norway that's funny? There's like no humour. It's like saying there's no humour in Germany, but Germany has a bit of humour. But like Norway, nothing from Norway ever happens.
It's just so weird how, like, it's just a film. You don't have to watch it. Like, no one's forcing you to watch it. You, like, if you don't want to watch a religious film, just don't watch it. But because people want to do other stuff, you know, they're not really open-minded to the fact that people are different, people think differently, and it's just a downside of being religious. Sorry to those religious people out there, but we're not that religious.
Yeah, exactly.
Just dead silence.
Yeah, so
I'll cut
you
that
talk
bit
about
out.
religion, I just zoned out for a second. I'm not gonna lie. It was just okay, fair enough. Yeah, Life of Brian, also funded by George Harrison. I was a big fan of them.
Yes, that's right.
I was a big fan of the Beatles. A very big fan of the Beatles.
I was a big fan of the
fan
Beatles.
Monty Python. Big fan of.
Because him and Eric Idle were like, you know, buddies.
Yeah, big
and
fan
they
of
can-
Mark Chapman as well.
Yeah, and they couldn't find funding for the film because no one would just produce it because it's based on religion and all that.
Yeah.
And then Eric Idle just messaged, well, not message because they didn't have phones back in the day, but
They just texted him via Messenger. Yo, George, what's
Two-
going on? Oh, not much. Just did
Piece of string with 2 cans.
We're doing some LSD. You want some? Like to join
it's the worst imitation ever.
us?
But yeah, he just, you know, and the simple reason was just that he just wanted to see the film. And I'm glad he did. Because
I paid $3 million for my ticket. I fucking should get first class seats.
that whole film's great though.
Yeah,
It's all, it's brilliant.
yeah, it's good.
Amazing. And then,
Next will be.
next.
Next.
Oh, I thought you were going to add to that. Like, next will be.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were just going to continue.
I just didn't. I've watched the film so many times that I only recently have started listening to the lyrics in the intro song. And I'm just like,
Oh,
For
okay.
what? For
Life of Brian.
oh,
And they're just listening to the lyrics.
Brian.
Where it's like, and he grew and he grew.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And boy, he was no longer a boy named Brian. He was a man named Brian. And they're just like, dude, it's just fucking lyrics about him learning how to masturbate and shave wrong. It's just fucking brilliant.
And then if you're watching Holy Grail, there's like I never noticed this before, but I was watching it the other day with Mum, and she pointed it out. And there's it's towards the beginning where who is it? Jones? Yeah, Jones. He's got the bird with like
The coconut.
the coconut, yeah, to see if it can fly
Yeah.
or something. Like I never saw it.
Really?
Like yeah, I never picked up on it.
Clear open shot. I remember seeing that.
'Cause it's yeah, and then just flops down.
Yeah, because that was after the coconut talk. When was that?
What do you mean?
The
Oh, in the I can't remember. But it was like
You sure that wasn't Life of Brian?
no, it was like in Holy Grail where because they want to see how much a witch weighs, you know, so they get a bird and then they get rocks or something, and he tests it out to see. It was like I can't remember. My mind's dead.
Saw that alcohol I'm feeding you.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
just
much it.
remembered that there is a cameo from George Harrison in Life of Brian.
Really?
Did you know? Yeah. Mate, if you fucking pay for the movie to be made, I'm getting the cameo.
No, I know there's a cameo by another person who
Another person. There's a cameo by Spike Milligan.
that might be him.
Spike Milligan, he's when they start to follow Brian and like they find the shoe on the
Yes.
ground.
Yep.
And Spike's always like, wait, let us pray. Yeah, to the fucking.
Yep.
And George Harrison is in the crowded room after Brian gives his like big talk to everyone out.
Yeah.
And like Brian starts walking through the big crowd. You see, there's John Cleese going, make way for the Messiah and all that shit, and then you see George Harrison like standing right there, just like looking. He's not even like screaming.
He's not even.
He's not doing it. He's just standing there going, yep. I think he's on LSD at the moment.
Oh God. Probably.
But yeah, you
So-
just see him do that. Just
Wait,
stand there.
is that like at the
That's like
beginning?
right after fucking Chapman does his whole speech to the people outside his window.
Oh.
The window.
Okay.
And that actually speech lasts a minute. It actually lasts a minute. Like dead on, it lasts a minute.
Really?
Yeah. Like a fucking 100%. As soon as it said, you can see him for 1 minute, but not 1 second more. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking time this.
Wow.
It
Okay.
was, as soon as like Brian's ear gets pulled,
Yeah.
is like the 58-second mark. So you see him like getting
Wow.
pulled away, like 58 back and gone. It's like, ooh, that wasn't a minute.
Oh, just brilliant.
And when I heard that line, that wasn't a minute, I thought, the first time I heard it, the first few times I heard it, I thought, oh, that mother's a bitch.
Oh, it's just so great.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's just great.
And for the ladies, there's a nice shot of Graham Chapman's penis too.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
That's probably why I got the X rating. Religion.
yeah,
and
that's
things, yeah.
pretty much it. Because that's after he's had sex with the chick.
You see
And he
the
wakes
bush,
up at-
yeah, the bush. I think the bush is worse.
Yeah, the bush. Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Good old bush.
Classic 70s.
70s bush.
Oh. But yeah, that's great.
Yeah, back to fucking Holy Grail. Sorry.
I love Holy Grail where, like, it's just smart writing with the bridge master, and he says,
I think
"What
it's smart
is your
writing with the fucking? No, that's not smart writing. It's just simple.
It is
writing.
no, because like
No,
he turns
smart-
it on his head.
No, smart writing is fucking like that. The people, the oppressed, the two.
Oh, the people.
Oh, there's some great filth over here. And he talks about a fucking systematic government. You just like that's a peasant fucking talking about systematic government and fucking watering tarts, throwing swords. There's no basis for a system of government. Supreme executive powers derived from the masses. See that's fucking smart writing.
And then
I think what the best sketch in that for me is She's a Witch or Bring Out Your Dead.
Bring Out Your Dead is great.
I'm not dead.
What was that? Oh, really?
Not dead.
Oh,
I'm
it
not
says
dead.
not
I
dead.
usually ninepence. I'm not dead. Oh, he says he's not dead. I'm not.
Well, hang on. Bang. And just, okay. Put him
So
on.
when's your next run? Oh, not until Thursday. Is there something you can do? Sweet. See you Thursday.
Oh, it's great. And then you have like... No, my favourite sketch in Holy Grail is the two guards inside the prince's room with Michael Palin as the king, and he walks out.
I'd kill him. I'd fucking kill him.
I love Graham Chapman in that
Just
scene.
sick of him.
He's
I think that's like the cold turkey alcoholism of the gin, probably. I think that's probably why. Maybe that's like a secret move. He's got drunk so much that he didn't remember his lines, so it's just
so
like...
just teacupping.
Yeah, it was just probably meant to be Idle and Chapman gonna like fucking 2-2 against him.
Yeah. And then Idle had to do his lines or something. And then at the end of this, like, it's brilliant. At the end of the scene, Chapman does another hiccup, and then Palin just turns to him and says, "Oh, get a glass of water."
Go get the passport. One day, all this will be yours. What, the curtains? No, not the curtains.
That's like Lion King before Lion King, because there's a scene in Lion King with
I love those Lion King memes where it's like, whatever the sun touches is yours. What's that? What's the dark place over there? That sunshine. Sun, don't ever go there.
Oh, it's brilliant. Holy Grail with who was it?
Who was it?
Michael Palin coming into the castle with the he
the
sees the
ladies.
Grail.
Yes.
I have a theory that is actually where the Grail is, but because the twin sister says it's not, he just leaves. So I think it actually is there.
Oh, is that your theory?
Yeah, that's my theory. That's a fucking basic theory.
So you only see one twin?
Yeah, like you don't see them both on screen at the same time. It could have been the same twin.
And that is Carol Cleveland.
Yes, it is. Sure. Yes, it is.
Very...
a beautiful Carol Cleveland back in the day.
And a big collaborator with them for their live shows and extra bits.
She did because Connie Booth was the girl who was the wife to the lumberjack sketch in Flying Circus.
Yeah.
Like that was Connie Booth from 40 Towers. If you don't know who she is.
We just needed to find another blonde busty girl. So they got fucking Carol Cleveland.
Yeah. But it's great, and like the fact that they couldn't afford horses, they had to use coconuts.
Yeah,
it just adds to the humour.
It actually does. It's brilliant. It would have been pretty shit if it was just horses, like coconuts.
Yeah.
And I fucking just recently got myself some coconuts and they're boxed up somewhere, but I got coconuts. So fucking.
We should totally do a sketch.
My dad bought a coconut and I just sawed that fucker in half and just like scooped all the shit out and I'm like, fucking this, I'm done.
Brilliant. No, it's great. I really miss it. I really miss, humour like that. If anyone wants to collab and do Monty Python stuff, I'm available. I think Ryan's available. If he's not working his ass off.
Nah, I don't want to get sued.
So, no, not remakes, just new stuff.
Okay, Monty, can you just give us all the stuff you didn't use? All the stuff you wrote down didn't use. Can we have that? Cheers.
Is that it? I can't think of anything else.
What about fucking Meaning of Life? Didn't you want to talk about that?
Oh, Meaning of Life. Oh, yes.
Fucking,
Jesus
what about
Christ.
Hollywood Bowl? Do you want to fucking talk about?
jeez.
Yeah.
Far out. Brain's going small. No, the thing with Meaning of Life is like, it's sort of like a flying circus show, just over 2 hours. Because it's just different sketches throughout people's lives. And it's like a musical as well. There's like four songs or something. But I love the Every Sperm is Sacred. It's great. All the dancing and the choreography.
I just love it on the outside. You see fucking Michael Palin. Oh, bloody hell. You see a fucking drop down. Like, oh, get that, what you do, Drew?
And he's got like 200 kids
it's just
stored
the
in
fucking best when they just like realise they have to be sold for scientific experiments. I give this long and careful thought, but it's like medical experiments for what you go, aww. This is fucking brilliant.
As a kid, I used to like not like Meaning of Life because it was so rude and so mature.
Oh, there's a lot of tits in there.
There's a lot of tits, there's a lot of sex, and a lot of gory stuff. With oh, can we have your liver? You know, the Clayson Chapman coming over.
But I'm using it hardly. What I love from that, and I always do it, not a lot of people notice, or probably even know the meaning, but every time I'm like someone's doing a speech or whatever, in my head, every single time, I'm just that little kid in that room going, every fucking time without fail, when there's someone talking on a podium or anything, I'm just like, and I just want to shout it out. But yeah, I'm probably big trouble.
Like at church or something.
Yeah, maybe I should do it at church. Like if people are doing their vows, and like wake up, because it's just fucking.
Oh, it's great. No, it's
But
brilliant.
yeah, it's always in my head without fail.
Oh yeah.
Just that.
And like Monty Python's always in my head. Even like in high school, where we would be in the hall and there would be an assembly, and the principal would come onto the stage and be on the podium, on the stage.
Jenkins, apparently your mother does.
And he would be on the podium, and I'd think, okay, 3 people are just going to walk out, and then they're going to do the history of the joke, with the tripping of the shoe and the banana peel and the chair.
Mm.
You know that sketch? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think that's going to happen, but it doesn't. But Python's always in my head with like different, situations.
Mm.
I
was going to say something.
But I love Meaning of Life with the machine goes bing,
Oh, that's the most expensive machine noise.
and then the inspector comes, and he says, I see you've got the machine that goes bing. Even he's on the joke.
He's a fucking knobhead.
Oh, it's great.
A machine that goes bing. And it's like, today we're doing a birth. And what is that? And he's just like throwing the bandages into the bin, like 1,000 mate.
It feels like something mission. Oh, the patient. Where's the patient? Oh, patient. It just fucking like takes the kid away and I was like, number target.
And then all the family comes in and it's like,
yes.
oh, no, only family, and then everyone just comes in. It's not like one person.
It's like only fucking medical people involved, like photographers and shit come in. It's like you can find out all on the birth.
Yeah.
When you get home.
Like he cuts the umbilical cord and he just chucks it over.
Shoulder, well, that's enough.
Oh, he just like dangles it into the.
It's just everything.
And then you've got like one of the best songs that they've ever done with the Galaxy song.
That's a great song.
With Eric Idle coming out of the fridge.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
I think I remember seeing that like Stephen Hawking talked about that song or something, saying like some of it's true, some of it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, obviously half of it's bullshit.
And then like for comic relief or something, they did it with Stephen Hawking. Like they interviewed him and said, can we just use you for a sketch? And they got Brian Cox or someone.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. I can't remember who the professor is. He's like a young...
Brian Cox.
It might be Brian Cox, yeah.
I know there's an actor called Brian Cox, but it's just...
Yeah. But they got him and then they got Hawking and all that and they just did like a little joke and then they broke off into the song. And it's just Hawking's voice doing the song. And it's great. I think they changed some of the lyrics to make it more accurate as well.
Yeah, they did. I do remember that.
They did change some lyrics.
Fucking he'd be a shit singer, Stephen Hawking. The universe itself contains 100 billion stars. Fuck off. Get some auto-tune with them, mate. You're a computer, you can do some auto-tune.
It's brilliant. What do you think they could do? What do you think if the Pythons were still around today?
So that's the thing.
in their prime, what do you think they would talk about? Would they talk about Trump,
No.
or would they talk like?
They would. Everyone's talking about fucking Trump. No. What you're trying to say is, what kind of historical moment would they film next for a movie?
Oh, right.
Something like that, you know? Something
Because they've done like
influential in a way,
the
like
spoof.
Jesus,
they've
Holy
done.
Grail,
Yeah.
and the meaning of life. So what else would they do?
That's a good question.
That's the question.
It's sort of like probably Tesla with like automatic cars or something, or the next step in scientific stuff.
I think it might be his future.
Because they've done religion, like they won't do Moses or Noah or
I think they might do something futuristic, like a future movie, like sci-fi.
yeah.
Because they've done the past. I don't think they did Tesla. That's just retarded. You just see Graham Chapman driving. Probably drunk as well during driving.
No, but it's automatic. The self driving car, so he just has to drink. He doesn't have to worry.
I think it might be a sci-fi. It
Mm.
would be a sci-fi.
Because they've always done that.
They've always added it in.
Yeah, it's always that fantasy sci-fi factor to it. I don't know. Be interesting. Probably a terrorist film as well. They'd probably do that.
Maybe they do like something on Napoleon.
Yeah.
And take the piss out of like Napoleon, or like some French Revolution.
Or even like Isaac Newton with gravity, like the apple falls on the head and he just goes, ah, ah. I can see that being a sketch. But yeah, I don't know. It's good how they just, like the ground base of each film is just a simple thing, like Jesus or kings or just the meaning of life and what it means.
I don't think any of those are simple.
No, but
very simple.
but they don't make it up on the first level.
And what is the meaning of life?
Well, they never like answer it.
Yes, they do. Right at the end.
What fish? Something about the fish.
No. It's in the meaning of life. What do they do?
Every day is Christmas in heaven.
No. What's the meaning of life? It's right at the end.
Fuck, I can't remember.
Well,
I forgot it.
What's the meaning of life?
I forgot it.
This is what we have to give our viewers right at the end. Our viewers, they can't fucking view this. They have to listen. But
I can't remember.
the meaning of life.
Give me a hint. Did
Read
someone
a
say
good
it?
book.
Huh?
Right.
What?
Here we go. This is the meaning of life. Try to be nice to people. Avoid eating fat. Read a good book every now and then. Get some walking in, and finally, here are some clips. Walking in and try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations.
Yes.
That's the meaning of life.
I mean, they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
No.
You don't want to be like that fat dude in the restaurant.
I do enjoy a good book every now and again.
I love my food, so if I end up being like the fat guy that bursts open,
I'll just eat a carrot with me chocolate. Then deep fried carrots are like chocolate dipped carrots. Chocolate dipped strawberries. Dip strawberries in chocolate.
What?
I don't do it like other foods.
I'm so confused.
I don't dip chocolate in chocolate.
This is chocolate. What else? Hollywood Bowl. Do you want to talk about that? The best of the best. It's probably like their most famous live show.
It's one of the.
Like I feel like
the very few. So.
And it's probably like.
But it's got all of them in it too. So it's just like sort of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're most famous because they only do like 4 live ones.
And I feel like their comedic timing is the best. At the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, they've had like plenty of time to fucking.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like they've had heaps of time to do it.
Especially in like Cambridge, they'd fucking teach you how to do comedy properly. Like the timing. It's always about timing.
But over here, like, imagine a comedy course that you could do, and you study the history of it, and you study how to do it. It'd be great, but
Is there one I haven't looked up? Maybe there might be one.
maybe. Who knows?
You can't.
But yeah, just great sketches.
Yeah, so yeah, they did the Hollywood Bowl. It was between. No, was it after Meaning of Life?
Dates and
It was in the 80s for sure. I can't remember if it was after 84
I
or
need
not.
some dates, man. Give me some dates.
I'm gonna say 86.
The cat's like screaming. And it's like, oh, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh,
No,
don't be so mean,
they
don't be
just
so
do like a
mean.
little baby. Yeah, give me some dates. Guess.
87.
82. You're wrong.
Oh, fuck now.
Told you it was between meaning of life and fucking.
Mm, told you.
Yeah, that's right. Shut the fuck up over there, you bastard.
We're turning into the argument show. The argument sketch.
No,
That's my favourite sketch.
You're
Like,
in the wrong room. I'm the
It's-
fucking abuse. I'm the abuse room. You half-witted, wanking, nitwit, cockroach-faced fag.
I'm sorry, I wanted an argument.
Oh, this is abuse.
Oh, I see. No,
I
no,
just love how happy Graham Chapman is like, I'm sorry, this is abuse. You want room 2B.
You stupid git.
Fantastic.
That sketch in its entirety is smart comic.
I've been showed that at school a few times
Writing.
for like lectures. They've showed that sketch on. I was like, yes.
Really? What for? Just
I don't know if I don't know to explain something.
Just
I think it's just to explain like the
meaning of an argument.
No,
An argument isn't just
well,
contradiction.
It's film school. We're not really learning about arguments and how to do an argument. But sort of the oh fuck, I can't remember now. Just the I need words.
How to words with Ryan Kendall.
It's just me silent.
That would make millions.
What's the fucking?
Like, how to lay out a story. How to
It's sort of like
how to
sort of like that. I'm trying fuck
like how to go from one thing to another and not just I don't know.
It was in the lectures back in the day. I'm fucking too old for this shit now. But yeah, it's that we got shown that in school, film school.
That's pretty
And I
cool.
was like happy.
That's pretty cool.
And then they showed some stuff in film school and like lectures, and I'm just like, yes, about time someone fucking talked about this.
Yeah, that's my favorite sketch. The argument sketch. This is brilliant. I've been saying that word too often.
What?
Brilliant. I've used it for every film, for every sketch that we've talked about.
You do. I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty good. But no, you do use that word a lot.
Yeah.
Can't pick another word.
Fantastic.
Nah.
Amazeballs.
Overuse. Guys.
Sakatbasa.
Doesn't exist.
Yes, it does. I just made it up.
Doesn't really exist.
It means
You're wrong.
it means brilliant.
Not near fucking.
Was that it? I can't think of anything else.
So they did a get together special in '99.
Oh, they've done a
late '90s.
Yeah, and they did one like a few years ago as well, like 2015 or 2012, I think. It was recently. They did one at in England somewhere.
Was that their final tour?
Yes, I think that was it.
You're talking about their final tour in 2015, 16 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I cried. Yeah, they did. It was funny watching like the Canadian special. 'Cause it's only like half an hour and just like chatting, and like you see on the front row, it's all like the cast members of Cheers and all that.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was good. What else? They've done. They did Her Majesty's. What was that? Her Majesty's.
Oh yeah, there was the Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what it's called though.
Fuck! I could be fucked on. Do it yourself, people. You got
That's what
fingers.
they would have done. That's what they would have done. Like for a new film, the internet, like the start of the internet, because they never got around with social media and all that from back in the day.
Fucking, that's what Dave Chappelle did. Have you seen Dave Chappelle's sketch on the internet?
I don't think so.
Oh, fucking watch it. It's the best.
I don't.
It's really the best.
I don't believe so.
That's a brilliant.
I was never a big fan of him from
Oh,
like back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, I just never
Dave
got.
Chappelle,
I just never got around to him.
Dave Chappelle was like way ahead of his time. He was like doing Key and Peele stuff like back then. It
Yeah,
was like,
because
his sketches are brilliant.
because
Like some of them like pretty like intense and like racist because he's like black, so he can say all this stuff. So he's always saying the N word so much. It's great.
Because I think the first time I ever saw him was in The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy.
Was he in that?
He's like the stand-up comic that they have in like
okay.
two scenes, and he's got like dreadlocks in the middle of his head,
Okay.
and Eddie Murphy just comes up and just like does a riff off thing with Dave. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dave Chappelle, brilliant.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. Yes. So
What else? So the fucking Dumb and Dusted. I'm into tears about that.
yeah, it's like the end of an era.
I have seen John Cleese twice.
I've seen it once.
I was gonna see Michael Palin, but I think I was sick on that day or something happened that I missed it. And
Idiot.
look, he's young, so he'll come back.
That's pretty much
I
it.
doubt I'll see Terry Gilliam because he'd probably just like
I wanna-
spend 10 years in pre-production and making a fucking film.
His films are pretty good, like 12 Monkeys and The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
I like his old stuff as like, because I was talking about the Jabberwocky
Yeah.
back in the day. That was cool. It's sort of like a whole. It's sort of like done in the same time as Holy Grail, but just like a different sort of story. Story time. The Fisher King is brilliant.
Yep.
Brazil is brilliant. Time Bandits is lovely. I love that film. Time Bandits.
I really love The Fisher King with, is that Robin Williams? Yeah.
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 And fucking
And what's her name?
Jeff Bridges, the dude.
And who's the girl in it? What's her name?
Fucking.
Oh,
What's her name?
Shit.
Amanda Plummer, isn't it?
Yep, Amanda Plummer, that's the one.
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. That's a great film. That's another one of his surrealist films, not normal looking. Fear and Loathing is always nice. I haven't seen The Zero Theorem.
Oh, I haven't either.
The Brothers Grimm is pretty cool. It's not bad.
It's alright.
It's okay.
It could have been better, but it's not bad.
Yeah. I recently watched the fuck is that? I recently watched the documentary that he did that's about the making of a film. The man who killed what was it? It's called Lost in La Mancha.
Okay.
Lost in La Mancha, and it's about the making of a film that he struggled with. He didn't sort of struggle, but it was just the actor that was playing the main
main character.
Yeah. He had prostate cancer.
Oh, really?
Just he found out before, and like he did a couple of scenes, but he went off to get the prostate removed, and like this is done in medieval times, so he has to ride a horse, and it's like really.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so the doctor's saying like, oh, it won't be until like a month he gets back to work and all that, and
wow.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like he couldn't really do it because of this problem.
Yeah.
And it's Don Quixote.
Don Quixote, yeah.
Don Quixote. And yeah, it's just one of those stories where people have, even Orson Welles tried to update the story of him and failed because of something. But I think Terry's actually trying to do it started again.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Actually.
Damn.
For the 100th time.
Because Terry's always had issues with actors, not because they didn't like to be on the set or anything, but even with Dr. Parnassus, or I think that's how you say it. Heath Ledger just passed away during the making of the film, and they had to replace his character with another actor.
That's really weird because when I watched it, I did feel like they didn't replace it at all. Because Heath Ledger is in the real, the real world, but every time he walks through, like imagine the Emporium, it turns into Johnny Depp, Jude Law.
Yeah.
Fuck, Colin Farrell.
No.
I think it's Colin.
I can't remember if he is in that film. But yeah,
But
like
it's fine. Yeah, it's
because
just changes
he's
into them. So
yeah.
it's just like it kind of just makes sense if he died or not because he's a different person in each fucking.
Yeah. It's like
Oh.
Doctor Who or something, you know. I enjoyed that film.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't
you know,
fucking,
that doesn't really hurt the film, but
no, it
it was,
doesn't.
it was a sad event that happened.
But yeah, Terry Jones. I remember watching Terry Jones so much in The Wind in the Willows.
Yeah.
I watched that a lot.
Who else in that film is?
I think it's Michael Palin is in that film.
Because I used to watch that film a lot as a kid.
And I loved it because when I was young, I loved old cars. I fucking loved them, and it actually made me sad because Terry Jones always crashed his cars because it was just
that's right.
He was fucked up.
Because someone else is in that film, like a non-Python person. Who's
there's
the,
a whole. I don't know.
There's like a whole ensemble of people. But I used to watch that film a lot, and I didn't even recognize it was Gilliam. Like not Gilliam, Jones. I wasn't even that. Like I was young. I was not that tuned in to the actors behind the screen. Yeah, that's a good film.
Where is my thing? Give me. Oh, there it is. Terry Jones, Eric Idle. Yeah, Matt Lucas is in there.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Bob Hoskins is the Badger.
Yeah, that's right.
Good old Bob Hoskins. Steve Coogan is in there. John Cleese is in there. Michael Palin. So it's got Palin, Eric Idle, Terry, and John Cleese. Stephen Fry.
He's like the main, not the main toad, but the higher up person.
See, I haven't seen it so long. I want to see it again.
Yeah.
I have to find that film. That's crazy. I didn't know Matt Lucas was fucking going around at that age.
Yeah. We started off like earlier.
Damn. I think he's been bald forever.
Yeah.
He's just like I'm just looking at a photo of him where he's got no eyebrows and no hair. And he looks like he's fucking 8.
It's like an egg ball with legs.
Yeah. I wonder if he has that fucking hair disease the same as Peter Garrett. Yeah.
I don't know.
What's that disease? Fucking beds burning disease.
I'm probably gonna get that disease since my hair's going out.
Nah, you'd be right.
Turning into Jack Nicholson from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Nah, you'd be right. Where is it? I'm trying to look for it. Fucking.
You and the internet. What are we gonna do?
What? Where am I doing? This is crazy. See, even Wikipedia doesn't even show me his
Welcome,
whole
audience,
filmography.
to
Damn you,
Ryan
Wikipedia.
and the Internet, where we talk about 5 minutes on the internet on Google. And,
Look.
and we see how Ryan types Matt Lucas disease hair and see if anything comes up. Does it?
Filmography.
Soon find out.
We go down. Yeah. Doesn't even say who. Oh no, wait, it does. Fuck, stupid cunt. No, wait. No, I'm right. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, what? This is confusing now. Maybe he was in like a remake or something. So I'm like into this now because it's saying that he was in the film. All the actors and shit, but I'm looking at it and I feel like he wasn't at all.
No, he probably wasn't. Oh, yeah. Well,
Because I feel he might have been an updated version, I don't know.
maybe it was just like on the crew.
On the fucking.
No, the Pythons were like the best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah, it's in the fucking TV movie in 2006. That's what Bob Hoskins was in too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you fucking cunt. Oh, fucking 96 version. Fucking.
It's really cool how, and I think on Netflix, all the Python stuff is going to be on Netflix in April or May.
Yeah, they announced it on like all the phone seconds.
Yeah, and they've done they're uploading documentaries as well, I think, or special stuff.
Awesome.
So hopefully that will come into Australia and not just America.
Just fucking get the American Netflix. You can go through the internet. I'm sure you all internet nerds can.
Oh, but then that's another $10 or $12 or whatever.
Nah, it's the same price. You just fucking connecting into. Yes. Trust me. Yeah, I think I got it through Holla. And you can just like go into the American Netflix. It's great. There you go.
What a way to cheat the system.
Yeah, fuck it. If they did better stuff than us, fucking.
And now for something completely different.
I like people.
That is different. That is a different thing. That's about it. I'm lost for words. I can't think of anything else.
Well, technically, you're not lost for words because you keep on saying words. Yeah.
How dare you? Do you want to start an argument?
I'll start a fight with that moth.
Like at Silence of the Lambs. Just put it in your mouth.
What if you can die from the dust and the moth?
Well,
dust.
we'll see.
Yeah, fuck, I've been talking for too long.
We don't want to bore you anymore.
Yeah.
That rhymes.
No.
Signs of the times. We don't want to bore you anymore.
Oh. You fucking...
I'm so funny.
Yeah, you have your moments.
So, if you want to subscribe, please do. We need the numbers. We need the followers. It'd be good. It'd be great. It'd be brilliant, as I would say.
We'll probably still do this even if you didn't.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty much it.
If you do, thank you very much. If you don't, fuck you. Alright. Not like a lot.
Sign up to YouTube, it's free. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, YouTube's free.
Yeah, just put an email in, put a password.
Anything is free.
Yeah, Facebook's free, Twitter's free.
Insta-
Follow us on Twitter,
Yeah.
Breaking TFW, Facebook, The Fourth Wall. Links will be in the description. Anything?
On YouTube, yeah, you'll have the link in the description.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's it.
Hail Satan.
Beautiful. I love that we end off with an evil.
He's not evil.
He's evil.
No, he isn't.
He's the opposite of God. He's evil.
No, he's not. So that's the thing, you need to read the fucking Satanic Bible and then you'll understand
Oh
everything.
God. No, please.
Trust me, people, if you want to understand,
Please no.
don't be shit, don't be naive.
I've already read the Bible. I don't want to read another Bible.
Did you actually read it?
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, so
Fuck me, Dad.
I've read all of it pretty much.
And you're a sad person.
Because I went to Catholic schools and all that.
Yeah, I was
so.
a Catholic, but I didn't read the fucking Bible. I think I tried reading Revelations because I'm like, oh, you're doing
Oh
this
yeah,
shit.
you would love Revelations with the
But
world ending.
I
And
think I forgot about half of it anyway. I couldn't give a fuck.
Oh, I can't remember much of the Bible, but
Satanic Bible, 100%. Go fuck yourself. Read it.
just
Read it.
like I've read the Bible, right? So everything
this is
no, but
Bible's 1,000 pages. This is like 100, 200.
but like
Nothing's gonna destroy.
but
Trust me.
but the Bible, I've read the Bible, right?
Uh,
So the Satanic Bible is just the opposite. So I just have to
Not.
read that and just go, oh, it's the opposite. Okay,
no, it's not.
well, it's good and evil.
No, you're fucking too religious now. You want an argument, cat? Fucking try. See, oh no.
Do you want to talk about religion on the Monty Python skit on the podcast?
We'll be back after these messages. I didn't hear that fucking like the no broadcast like signs and just has like a fucking
Technical difficulties.
yeah, technical difficulties. This is us right now. It's gonna be us and your phone. It's gonna be
It just cuts to like a
you just
iPhone.
hear a bang. It's like,
And we still hear the audio in the background of you punching me into the floor.
yeah, I'll fucking end you.
And then you just hear like, get off me, you fucking cunt.
It's evil. I'll fucking give you evil. No, I'm not even start. I'm not gonna fucking start. It's fucking. No, fuck that. It's a whole can of worms.
Oh, we can do that for a podcast.
Yeah,
if you
fuck
want.
no. It's got nothing to do with films. I'm not doing fucking religious signings in films.
Oh, alright. Oh, I think that's it.
So I'm never gonna talk about Seven.
But that's deadly sins. That's not like deadly,
So
good
you know,
stuff.
and the thing is, in the Satanic Bible, it says those 7 deadly sins that the fucking Christian church and all those cats fucking talk about.
Who talks about it?
The Christian cunts. The CC is Christian cunts. In the Satanic Bible, it tells you that why are these deadly sins when all of them make you happy? When all of them give you enjoyment and fulfillment?
Oh, but it's bad.
Fuck off, it is.
Greed. Oh, greed.
Greed, as if you never wanted more money in your life. You
Yeah,
buy DVDs
but
and Blu-rays, just like, I want a bit more. That's greed right there. Gluttony, you know what? If you got fucking seconds at the last supper, you'd be crucified.
I'm eating right now.
Exactly. What is it? Wrath? I mean,
Wrath.
as if you don't
That's
get
anger.
angry. As if you don't get angry. You're gonna get
No,
angry.
I'm not saying that we don't.
No. I'm fucking debunking your shit. What are the fucking sins? Sloth. What's sloth? Laziness? Fucking sloth again.
You turn into a sloth. Oh.
Envy, as if you're not fucking it. Like, envy's fucking it. You look at someone, it's like, I want that, that's envy. Fucking right there. That's fucking envy. What is sloth? Wow.
No, but like...
No.
I'm not...
Don't give me no like. Lust. Come on. As if like any fucking 14-year-old hasn't looked at Scarlett Johansson and made a wank. Don't give me that shit.
I'm not saying that we don't relate to it. I mean, when I say we, I mean the Christians. I'm not Christian,
Lust,
so
gluttony.
when I say that we don't relate to it, I mean no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we do relate to it.
Yeah, sloth is without care.
Yeah.
Like as if you
Fucking, I don't care about this podcast.
I couldn't. Nah, mate. Who gives a shit? Wrath, yeah, angry, envy, yeah, pride. As if you didn't have any pride in your life, you would get fucking nowhere. Listen, people.
I'm not saying that they're bad things.
Well, you are.
I mean, I am, but
Would you fucking?
I'm saying everyone relates to it, and it leads to bad stuff. If you want more stuff,
That's why they need to use their fucking brain. And they need to go, you know what? I could get angry. Yeah, getting angry is alright, but actually killing this person over taking my car back would be a little bit too much. And that's the thing. Even the Satanic Bible says taking a human life is stupid. Don't do it.
well, that's not satanic then.
No, for fuck's sake. Yeah, in the Bible's terms, it's not satanic, but
Yeah.
in the Satanic Bible, it's saying
But why is it called the Satanic Bible then?
because
Because it's going against what they think.
it's because the whole premise is it uses Satan as an image because he's seen as an outcast from the Christian church.
Okay.
And you becoming a Satanist is you're outcasting yourself from all religion.
Okay.
And being a Satanist means you are your own high power, your own God, you're responsible for everything you do. Instead of like, you do something like, oh fuck, I need to confess so I can get into heaven. It's all that fucking bullshit. Instead of just like, it's like, you're here, you're now, this is it.
Well,
that is
what I believe.
Yeah, and you fuck up and you just like, you live with the regret that even if you pray for it over your fucking 30 Hail Marys, it's still there.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the whole premise of it. So it just says Satanic Bible is like, it's just you being an outcast from all the fucking religions, really.
Yeah, well.
Fucking.
Fucking be known.
You know what?
Mic drop. Please, that cost $100.
I didn't jump that high.
Oh, no.
Fucking mic drop that shit, bitch.
And then on that note, I've just been bombarded with knowledge. So,
That's right, bitch.
how about it? We'll see you later. I don't know.
Yeah,
what else to say.
fucking. Sorry about that.
It's like that's the longest outro ever. Jesus Christ.
People can learn. They learned about Monty Python and fucking Satan.
There you go. What a segue back into the Monty Python. Great. Life of Brian.
Would they ever do a Satan? I don't know if they did it like a Satan.
They didn't do a devil sketch.
No, they didn't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Alright. See you guys.
Done and dusted.
Done.
Cheerio.